So I always say that to young people, the only thing you can control is your own effort and your own attitude. People who think that they can control their boss, यार मेरा तो बहुत बुरा boss है, छोड़ जाएगा ना boss, क्या कर लेगा, कितनी देर boss रहेगा आपका वो? Bosses rotate. So the only thing you control is your own attitude and your own effort. And I promise you that if you have good attitude and you have good effort, all bosses need people who have great effort and great attitude. Faculty advisor of mine sat me down and he said, "You want to be an entrepreneur?" He says, "Yeah." I said, he says, "Before you decide to do that, I just want you to recognize that being an academic is like being an intellectual entrepreneur." Explain that to me. He says, "It's the same thing, right? Like, at least in the US, there's a marketplace for ideas. You have to produce your own ideas. You have to win in the marketplace for ideas. If you don't win in the marketplace for ideas, you won't get tenure." So it's an entrepreneurial business. Nobody tells you what idea to pursue. It's your idea. It's your entrepreneurial drive. It's an entrepreneurial effort, except it's not about building a company. It's about building your own intellectual brand. That's the game that you play if you're an American academic. The view from my office was the dean's house of Harvard Business School. It just happened to be the case that when I saw from my office, the view was the dean's house of Harvard Business School. Now, if someone had told me that 22 years later, I would have the opposite view, which is I would be living in the dean's house and I would look at this window, that would have felt like a complete fantasy, right? Like, you cannot even dream that dream. That would not have been on the imaginable list of any dreams that I could have had. And that's what happened 20 years later. For 10 years, I had the opportunity to now live across the street.